everyone, Sandi here. It is the 1st of February and it is evening time and the lightning is poor and we are here to reflect on my January, which is, has been quite a slow going month for me, I feel. I had, work, getting back to normal after Christmas and, all the holidays surrounding that. And I finally got to go and see my family because I basically had to postpone my Christmas trip up to see my family for several weeks because I kept getting ill. Or first Michael got ill, then I got ill, and then I had to wait, and I finally got to see them last weekend, which was really nice. So yeah, went up there, spent some time with my dad, some time with my sister and my niece and my grandma and my mum. So got to see them all, and that was really nice. We did some flea market shopping as well, and I'll show you some of the finds that I got and dragged home all the way to my city. Then what else did I do in January? I did some desk reorganizing, which I won't be able to show you now because it's full of stuff. But I think I'm gonna do that, tag my tarot desk or something at a later date. I just need to, clean it again now after this video. So and oh yeah, I had a tooth incident a few days ago. All of a sudden part of my tooth flew out when I was flossing. Luckily it was an old filling and I got an emergency appointment straight away, so it's all fixed, I'm all good, and yeah, but it was not a fun thing when it happened. But yeah, I also got email this month, and it was one parcel from Krista with a bunch of decks, or a few decks that I had bought myself that she just kind of relayed to me, and then a really lovely parcel from Ree over at the Tarot Tree, who sent me, she's been helping me out with my doll buying, and as well as buying an out of print deck on eBay in the UK. And then at the same time she surprised me with a few gifts that were just so good. I'm gonna show them to you in a little bit. So, yes, my doll arrived and I was immediately a little bit disappointed. She was quite sloppily made, and I was a little bit miffed, to be honest, but I ended up starting her customization straight away. I will show you a few pictures here of what she looked like when she arrived. In case you're interested, and if you're not, then you can skip ahead a few minutes while I talk about my doll. So yeah, the doll arrived, and I immediately changed her hair, I changed her faceplate, changed her clothes, and fixed some new ears on her as well. And this is what she looks like right now. She doesn't have a name yet because I'm not done customizing her. I'm going to try and make my own. So these ears come off just like that. They are like just blue tacked on. But yeah, she is not done. I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping this faceplate. I'm going to try and customize my own faceplate. But yes, I put on some new hair. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this super orange color though, so we'll see. But yeah, she's all right for now. I really dig the dungarees I got for her. Yeah, she's just been hanging out in my bookshelf over there. And yeah, being the guardian of my books and tarot decks. So that's what she looks like for now, and I suppose I will be showing her off every now and then, maybe. I have ordered some tools and stuff that should be arriving any day now, so that I can start doing my own face customization. I've ordered some carving tools and some sandpaper and the fixing agent, like the spray stuff that you use to get this finish on the face. And yeah, it's and I'm also going to order some new eyes for her, because these are very messy. I think the person who's put these in has glued them in a very messy way, because you can see her fingerprints on her eyes, which is not very nice. But yeah, I'm going to be changing her eyes a little bit and hoping to fix this eye mechanism, because at the moment it's like this. It doesn't flip back up on its own. I have to like go in there and push like touch her eyeball and like drag it down in order for it to fall into place, which is not how it's supposed to work. So yeah. I'm gonna give her some different eyes. But this is what she looks like at the moment. So that was a little bit, just a short little tidbit about the doll. But let me now show you Ree's happy mail that she sent me. So I had asked for help with Ree to get my doll sent to me, and she did that splendidly. And at the same time, she also helped me to buy this animal tarot out of print deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Now, I'm not a Doreen fan at all, but there was something about this deck that just made me really want it. And I'm so glad I got it as well, because it's very sweet, actually. Let's see if I can do this. And I really love this artwork by the artist Dan Craig. He's a fantastic illustrator. Really love these pictures. I got it mostly for that. I haven't even focused much on the messages, just on the tarot correspondence and the pictures. I really love these pictures. So yeah, they have been. They're very new to me still, so I haven't actually gotten to know them very much yet, because I'm working with so many decks at the moment, you guys. I've just pulled, I think, 1 or 2 cards from this. It's very difficult to shuffle. I really wanted to trim it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, because on some of the cards, the text actually goes out right to the end. But if I decide that I'm not going to be using the text much, I might actually just cut off the borders, but we'll see. So that was the Animal Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. An out of print deck, but there's quite a lot of second-hand ones knocking about. So these were the backs. I really don't like the backs, because this is actually the picture of the Empress as well. So I feel like, what's one more artwork for the backs? You know, why take the one of the cards artwork for the backs? I feel that's a little bit meh. But anyway, on to the next deck, which I'm so excited about. Ree surprised me by getting this amazing little oracle or affirmation deck called just Wisdom from the Standing People Tree Affirmation Cards. It's humongous, but I can actually riffle shuffle this deck despite of that, because the cardstock is this amazing, super flexible thing that's just, it's just amazing. I really love it. These are the gorgeous backs. And this is made by, I think, a London sketch artist. Hang on. Victoria Sophia Lewis. I think she wrote in the guidebook that these are different places around where she lives. And the trees that she's observed there. So these are just super pretty sketches that she's done and collected into an oracle deck. And I think it's just it's really calm and ordinary, but magical in its ordinariness. It's just so, I really like it a lot, and I think a big part of why I love it is obviously trees, but also because this was an unexpected gift from a very dear friend, and that kind of stuff just makes it just all the more valuable, you know. So, yeah, I'll show you two more. And the elderflower with the dragonflies. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this was the Tree Affirmation cards by Victoria Sophia Lewis. Super special deck. In my collection that I had never heard of before, never seen anybody talk about it. I think it's quite a small production, and it just feels very, very special, honestly. Then she also surprised me with another deck that unfortunately turned out to be a fake. She ordered it from Etsy, but from a reputable seller, and from the reviews that she had read on the seller's page, I think she thought it was the actual creators' Etsy, because they'd been selling the real decks. But then when she ordered and received it, it was a fake deck, and she noticed it immediately, and it wasn't the fake deck that was being pictured at all on the site either. So she contacted Etsy and reported it, and she got her money back at least, which is a good thing. But she had the deck already, so she decided to send it on to me, and I mean, I've ended up loving it so much that now I really want to just get the real one. And it is on the box it just says the Hedgehog Tarot, but I think the actual name is the Fabled Hedgehog Tarot. I do believe that's it. The only thing about this deck that's making me hesitate to get the real thing is these atrocious curtains on the sides, which is not just the fake deck. This is on the real one as well. I've checked. These backs are gorgeous. They're like little Sailor Moon hedgehogs. I love them. But yes, it's a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, but with hedgehogs. And I mean, it's perfect for me, isn't it? Look at this king. He's so good. I just, yeah, I really think I might need to get this, and then I'll trim away. Look at this queen. Look at this queen. And I'll just try and trim away these curtains. I really don't like them. I don't understand why they've put them there, to be honest. They are, but this deck, otherwise, so cute. I think I'm gonna have to get the real one. I hope you can't hear that. My neighbor has suddenly decided to play the drums at 8 o'clock in the evening, so that's fun. Right. Anyway, so that was the decks. Then she also included some really gorgeous little gifts. She included this little tiger's eye hedgehog, which I absolutely adore. This one sits on my altar now. It's so precious. I love it so much. She also sent me this personalized bookmark with a hedgehog. Look at that. Look at that cutie. And then there's this little S here. Oh, and then there's some crystals on here as well. A lava stone, and I think, what are those? Some kind of agate, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, this is one of the prettiest bookmarks I've got, and I'm using it for my for whichever tarot guidebook that I'm currently studying. And then, last but not least, she sent me this beautiful moss agate acorn. Look at that. It's so brilliant. Love it. So that one's also on my altar constantly now. Okay, so that was that, and I'm just so incredibly grateful to my friend Ree for sending me all of these goodies. Very overwhelmed, to be honest. and yeah, just super happy and grateful. Okay, so the second happy mail was from Krista, which was filled with decks that I had bought for myself, or 2 decks and 1 out of print guidebook. But before we get into those, I just want to show you what else Krista included in her little parcel to me. So she sent me 2 little critters from her childhood collection of the Littlest pet shop pets. And I never had any of those when I was a kid. So I was just overjoyed to receive this little skunk, as well as this little cat that Krista had and played with when she was a little girl. And they're just the most precious things ever. I love them so much. And it caused me to go on a little bit of a weird rabbit hole, where I actually went out and purchased some more of these Littlest pets. So I've got a small Littlest pet collection now. And yeah, this cat here is currently sitting together with my doll. It's her little cat. So they usually sit together in the in the bookshelf. I think they match very well. And the other littlest pets that I got this little fairy pet, which I think is so super cute. Then I got this tiny little one, which is a little mouse. Look how tiny. Look how tiny. And then I got another tiny one, which is this little bug-eyed ladybug. But her eye is a little bit off. I don't know. She looks a bit creepy. Then I also got this little black cat. She is my little guardian of my altar at the moment. As well as this little deer. Oh, she's so cute. So adorable. And then I also got a little lamb. Hang on, a sheep. She's up there at the moment. Hang on. So this is the little sheep that I also got with her little pink bow. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I just think they're so super cute. I might actually give a few of them to my niece when she gets a little bit older. I don't want her to rip the heads off at the moment. So, because these are actually like collectibles, so you can actually sell them for quite a lot of money if you happen to have a rare one. Not a lot of money, but more than a piece of plastic should cost, you know. So yeah, those were my littlest pets, which was a little tangent before we started talking about the decks that arrived. And before we get into the decks, I'm just going to show you the book that I bought. The book is a companion book to the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews, which is the book for an out-of-print deck. And this one is used. You can see it's all cracked, the spine, and somebody has been, highlighting throughout the book. But I wanted to get the book because partly I wanted to see what it read like, and partly I felt that I wasn't very keen on the Animal Wise Tarot artwork or on the cards themselves. So I've actually made it into a little project where I now have the book. So I will just make my own Animal Wise Tarot from stock images, which I think is going to work really good. They look really good actually at the moment. I haven't finished it yet, but it's nearly done. And it's just been quite fun actually piecing that thing together. And I'm gonna have a look through the guidebook a bit closer now when it's finally arrived, so that I will see if I actually will print it for real or not. So yeah, that was the Animal Wise Tarot guidebook. Then another deck that arrived in that parcel was the Bird Signs Guidance and Wisdom from Our Feathered Friends 52 Cards and Book by Gigi Carbone and illustrated by Mary Rutsika. So this is an out-of-print deck as well, a random one that I found on eBay while I was actually looking for the first animal oracle deck, the one that I've been banging on about. So then I saw this one and I thought, maybe this one will help me get over the fact that I will probably never get that deck that I actually wanted. And honestly, you guys, it's really pretty and the book is really good. So I'm quite chuffed actually. These are the beautiful card backs. Look at that. And the cards themselves, I mean, the artwork is colored pencils and could be, it's nice. It's really nice, but it could, some of the cards, like this one, feels like a lot more effort could have been put into like the sky there, for example. But I mean, who am I to judge? This is what the artist had in mind, so I'm not here to tell anybody otherwise. It's just, you know, some thoughts that came to mind while I was flipping through it earlier. So, and also the borders, the colors on the borders sometimes annoy me. But other than that, I feel also that the borders are way too overwhelming. Like, I think I'm gonna try and trim it down to the same width all around as down here, so that they're not so wide. I just need to check that all of the titles fit if I do that. So yeah, that's the... I'll show you the lovebirds as well. Cute! Alright, so that's the bird signs deck, which actually, I mean, it's a super flexible and lovely deck. I love shuffling this, actually. It's super nice. Then I also received I bought from eBay in the US, another out-of-print deck, which is the Fairy Pack. Now, I've filmed walkthroughs of both this one and the bird signs deck, but and I haven't published them yet, or I might have published the Fairy Pack one by the time this one comes out. But the only reason why I've hesitated putting it up is because when I filmed it, the microphone had some kind of spazzy day or something, and had this really annoying electrical, like, buzzing throughout the whole video, and I was so upset about this, because I want my videos to be calm and enjoyable to watch. I don't want somebody to sit there and be annoyed at the little buzzing noise in the background. It's just not, it's not nice. Anyway, the Fairy Pack, and also an out-of-print deck that I had never heard of, stumbled across randomly online and found it immediately at a used bookshop on eBay. And honestly, you guys, I'm so in love with this deck. These are the backs, just a plain, like, flower paper type deal. I've now rounded these decks. They came unrounded. This deck, I mean, and not the cards. And it's just the cutest thing. I love these so much. And the book is really intricate and like super intense. Gosh, I just really love all of these different fairy archetypes that are presented in here, and they all come with their own little story. And like, there's fairies depicted from all kinds of cultures as well, which I think is really interesting. It's super nice to not only get the typical, like, British fairy depiction. It's really nice to see some other kinds of fae folk depicted. And I just really, really love all of this. I love the whole thing. I really want to show you the one card. Well, here's one that I really love. The Wee Woman. But then there's the Selkie as well. And the Elder Mother. This one is beautiful. Look at that. But I wanted to show you the one that made me so happy, and that is the Mountain Troll. This just made me so happy. The only deck I can think of that has trolls in it is the John Bower Tarot. I crave a troll deck. I need a troll deck. Trolls are part of my, local folklore. People, you know, talking about, people who got lost in the woods were taken by the trolls, stuff like that. And it's just part of my local folklore, and it's something that I feel is sorely missing, and I would love, I will maybe possibly one day be making a troll deck, hopefully. But I'm working on so many decks at the moment, you guys. I can't start working on a troll deck as well. So yeah, if you know about any troll decks, let me know, because I need it. So that was the Fairy Pack by Claire Namad and illustrated by Danuta Mayer. Super, super gorgeous decks. So excited to have that. The other decks that have arrived this month are two decks that arrived just a couple of days ago, which is the Way of the Panda, the Baby Panda edition. So excited. I bought the big guidebook a while ago and immediately decided that I also need the deck. Look at this diddy little thing and the green edges. I'm just so in love. I actually almost decided I wanted the big one immediately, but I'm gonna hold off and just work with the little one. It just makes them so cute. I love this one with the sunglasses. Oh, they're so adorable. And the thing is, pandas just makes me think of Andy, which incidentally also was the person who convinced me to get this deck. So yeah, the very first card that I drew from this deck was the Queen of Pentacles, which I think is super fitting. And I sometimes do deck interviews, but most often if I'm in a rush and I really just want to get to know the deck, like on a quick, kind of like first impressions basis, I shuffle it for a bit, try and get to grips with the cardstock, and then what I do is I just pull one card. I pull one card with the intention of with the question of what kind of friend will you be to me? Or kind of in the way of what kind of deck are you and how will what kind of relationship are we going to have? And the Queen of Pents, come on, that's so good. Yeah, so this is going to be my little motherly advice / kick up the butt deck. I'm really excited about working with it. I'm so happy. The next deck that arrived at the same time as this one, because I ordered it from Roi de Coupe, which is a French tarot site, is the Spirit Cats inspirational card deck by where is the name of the creator? Nicole PR? Sorry. I have not even looked at this deck yet. You can see I still have the band here because I wanted to do a first impressions on this deck. It's a deck that I've wanted for quite a while now, held off for all this time because I had convinced myself that I'm not a cat person. Well, lo and behold, now I've got this one, I've got Soul Cats, and I've got two Littlest pet cats. And I love cats. It's just who I am now. All right. Oh yeah, one more deck that arrived. I think it's arrived in January. I'm not sure now if it arrived in January or December, but either way, I modded it in January. So I'm gonna show it to you anyway. And that's the Herb Crafters. Finally have the Herb Crafters Tarot. And yes, I have trimmed it a little bit. It's had thicker white edges, but I took off half of the white edges just so that they would be a little bit smaller or thinner, which would allow me to shuffle this deck more comfortably. And so happy that I did. I almost went all the way down, but then I decided not to, because that would have meant that the backs would have lost all of the white border as well, except for down here, which would have annoyed me so much. I couldn't do it. So in order to keep it nice and tidy on the backs, I decided to go this way instead on the fronts. And still haven't worked much with this deck. I've done a few readings, and they've been spectacular, to be honest. Really love this artwork, which is not surprising because I love the artwork for the Gaian Tarot, which is another huge favorite of mine. And it's got the same artist. Look at that. Oh, I love that card. So yes, the Herb Crafters Tarot, gorgeous deck, which I decided to house in this little sunflower pouch that I've made. This is the only one of the finished design of these ones that I've actually kept for myself. So yeah, all the other ones have sold on my Etsy shop. So what else? All right, well, we might as well jump straight into decks that I've been working with the most this month. And the first one I'm going to show you is the Wild Whiskers Oracle, Spirit Animal Oracle by Final Laura. This is quickly becoming one of my all-time favorite animal decks. Honestly, this artwork is just spectacularly beautiful. They always make me smile and all warm inside, and the keywords and the little incantation down here and everything, it just makes me so happy. Like, it's fantastic. And yeah, I want a t-shirt out of every single card. I love, or a print. I love them so much. And these are the really cool backs. So yeah, that's the Wild Whiskers Spirit Animal Oracle, and I've been pairing this with my little Tarot Nova by Dennis Fairchild, which is one of my cute little pocket decks. It's this little simple deck that I just absolutely love. It's so diddy and pretty and simplistic, but I love it. And a guidebook is surprisingly cool for its little size. This is honestly one of my favorite decks. It always is straight to the point and gives me some really good readings. And especially paired with this deck. I mean, look at that combination. It's so good. I really love it. Let's pull another one. I should be doing this with the face down. Would work much better, wouldn't it? So here we've got the Queen of Cups and, oh, the Serene Swan. Look. So good. Oh, look at the plucky possum. I love this deck. I love these two decks together. They create the most amazing readings. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that's my favorite pairing. Yes, that's my favorite pairing of this month. Possibly ever, to be honest. I've done a few readings with these two together, and I honestly still have one of them on my desk right here behind the camera that I've made a few days ago now, but it's so... I mean, it's got two majors, the Devil and the Sun, and honestly, it's just that reading is just so deep and intense. I've just left it out so that I can look at it a little bit every day and like just nestle out more wisdom from it every day, because it's really kicking my butt according, regarding a few things. So, but yes, the next deck I've been using a lot this month is the Victorian Fairy Tarot. Sorry for you showing this. It's out of print, but it is one of my all-time favorite tarot decks. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna be showing it a lot. It's just, yeah, my fave. And it smells amazing. I bought it second hand, and the lady who sold it to me just had stored it with some really fantastic scented candles, and the scent has something very nostalgic about it. It smells like something from my childhood, which is, I think, just caused me to fall even deeper in love with this deck when I got it. Look at this Queen of Winter. She's fantastic. Oh, alright. The only thing is that the only hedgehogs that I can think of now in this deck is in 5 of Winter, and they're being mean to the hedgehogs, and it's breaking my heart every time. I can't. The hedgehogs need some redemption. Oh, alright. Let's move along before I start crying about the hedgehogs. So that was the Victorian Fairy Tarot by Linnea Weatherstone in my little pouch that I made for it. That now smells like the deck. Sorry if it's just sniffing things. What else? Yes, Woodland Wardens. I don't know. I'm just going to show you a couple of cards because I've shown this so many times, I think. But this is my little trimmed copy. I've trimmed off most of the white border, but not all of it. Just to make it a bit easier to shuffle. But this deck has been coming out a lot ever since I got it, really. I haven't put it away. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous deck. I said that Wild Whiskers is one of my favourite animal oracles, and it is. The only one that it's competing with at the moment is this one. Gorgeous. And they're not really competing either. They have very different feels and like aesthetics. And I also feel like they do different things to me, like for me. So yeah, this one I pair a lot with the Victorian Fairy Tarot as well. They go very well together. So this is the Woodland Wardens by Jessica Rue. Another deck that I've been using a lot is the Mara Loon Tarot, which is the same as last month, I believe. I've been using the Mara Loon as well a lot for about 3 months now. She comes out every time I want a bit more of a gentle advice reading. I love the soft watercolors in this deck. It's this sun card has been following me, as well as the sun card from the Tarot Nova. So I've got a lot of sun coming at me at the moment. But yes, the Mara Lune Tarot, spelled Lunne, is, yeah, just one of my top faves at the moment. So which one else have I used a lot this month? Well, I've also been using the Roots and Wings still. I think I used this one a lot last month as well. I've been pulling a card every other day almost from this, or in combination with my Victorian Fairy Tarot, or basically any deck. I think this one goes really well with a lot of decks, especially Mara Lune, as well as the next deck that I also have been using, which is the Future Ancestors, our Future Ancestor Tarot. This deck, the Roots and Wings deck, goes really well with this one actually. They both got this watercolor quality, but whereas this one is mostly grey or grayscale with a few splashes of color, the Roots and Wings has mostly color, but they complement each other so well. Love this High Priestess. I adore shuffling this deck. It's so satisfying. And I had some really cool readings with this deck in January. Really love this deck. I wish that I could get the big guidebook that Lexa Luna has come out with now, but the price is just too much. It's too much. The deck itself was really expensive, and the guidebook is just too much. Especially when I also have to consider the shipping and the taxes on top of that. I really hope that the guidebook will be sold through a vendor here in Europe. Then maybe I will be able to get it at some point. But at the moment, it is out of my reach, which is sad. Makes me a sad panda. So, those were the decks that I've been working with this month. Next up, starting in the new year. Yes, the new year. Haha, it's a month since the new year now. What I mean is, today on Imolc, I am starting my year in the Wildwood. So today I pulled a card, which was the Ancestor, this one. And turns out, when I started reading about the year in the Wildwood, that we are starting out the year in the Wildwood together with the Ancestor and the Pole Star, which I thought was really cool that I pulled this card when it's the card that we are going to be working with throughout the months of January to March? February to March? I can't remember now. Anyway, all of you probably know the Wildwood Tarot already, but I'm going to show you a few cards, especially since I also trimmed this one this month, or in January. I just took off a few millimeters of each side to make it ever so slightly smaller, but still keeping the border on the back. So this is now a little bit easier for me to handle, and I prefer it with the smaller borders. But I've had this deck for quite a while now, but I haven't actually used it at all, just because it's been a little bit overwhelming and a little bit scary. But I am joining Jenny from A Year in a Day. She's also doing A Year in the Wildwood this year. So we're doing it together, and I also joined the Wildwood study group on Facebook. God, I love this. I love this hair card. Look at that. Will Worthington's artwork is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. So, yes, I am starting A Year in the Wildwood, and I will update you about that, I suppose, later on when I've gotten my feet wet a little bit. So that was the Wildwood Tarot, which I will be working with this year. So what else then? I suppose now it's time to show you my little flea market haul that I did while I was visiting my family. So, well, first I'll show you the little thing that my dad gave me from my grandparents' place. I saw these and immediately asked about them, and he said, "Oh, you can have them. They're just something I found around." And they are these little candle holders that are perfect for these small the small spell candles. And I just thought they were so pretty. They're a little bit wonky. I'm gonna have to like try and make them a bit more flatter so that they won't start a fire or anything. But if I can sort that out, maybe I can put them on a plate with some sand or something. I think that would work. So those were super nice. They belong to my grandparents. Then I will show you this little one I found. So this is a little like a cream pot or like milk jug to have. It's for I have a teapot basically, is what I'm trying to say. I have a teapot from the same brand, from the same series, and this is a classic Finnish brand called Arabia, and you can find they sell for quite a lot sometimes, but you can find them in flea shops and flea markets for quite a good, deal. And since I already have the little teapot that goes with this one is in this exact finish, I had to pick this one up because I do when I do brew tea in a teapot, I like to put a little bit of oat milk in a little jug on the side so that I can, do my little tea and milk mixture here in the living room instead of having to go to the kitchen. So, and I also happened to find a tea mug from the same series, but with a different glaze. I now want to find this mug with the glaze that will match my teapot and my jug. So, but this one I couldn't pass it up. It was so pretty. It looks black in the camera, but it's actually like a dark brown. Ignore that. I need to wash the price sticker off properly. But yeah, so this one's really, really big and lovely, and I think I might take it to work to drink coffee out of. Another cool find with basically the same glaze as the cup is this cute little tea light holder that I found. Really love this old 60s 70s style ceramic art from Finland, which I love so much. I also found this little tin thing that I'm just going to use for storing things. And then I also found another tea light holder with little moons on it, which I thought was so cute. Love it. It's got some spilled wax in there that I'm going to have to try and get out, maybe with some boiling water. And then I also found this cute little unused, sorry, I'm going to take the price tag off. This cute little unused like perfume bottle that has this little, just this little doot 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 stuff on it. And I just thought this one would be perfect for some kind of, I don't know, magical oil or something. It's got this little tassel. It looks so magical. I'm going to have that on my desk. And then, this, I nearly started crying when I found this, and you're not going to understand it unless I tell you a little story. So, when I was a little girl, I used to visit my great-grandparents almost every day after school. So by my great-grandparents, I mean my mum's grandma and granddad. And I used to hang out with them almost every day after school. They were really cool people. I loved spending time with them and listening to granddad's old stories. And he was a very artistic person. He used to paint oil paintings, and he was really skilled with woodworking as well. So he's made like all kinds of stuff that we have in the family. And the one thing that I remember really, really strongly is sitting there at their table, talking to them and drinking out of one of these mugs or cups. This kind of cup, this exact color and everything, is what they had to serve all of their visitors in when people came round to visit. And I had my first little sip of coffee out of one of these. I felt so grown up because my great grandma used to let me drink coffee. And before you say anything, it was basically 98% milk with a little tiny little splash of coffee in it. But, it made me feel really seen and heard and special because I was a little girl drinking coffee. I felt grown up. It was really, really cool of her. And I saw these. They had 6 of them, I think. But we don't drink out of these little mugs anymore or cups anymore. We drink out of big bleeding things like this. But I had to get some, so I got 2, and I decided I was going to use it either as a holder for big tea lights, or maybe I would use them for pouring my own beeswax candles or something. Either way, I had to get 2 because just looking at it makes me feel close to my great-grandparents again, and they died quite a while ago now. But I have so many fond memories of them, and this felt so special. And I showed my family as well when I found it. I was like, look what I found, and every one of them immediately knew what I meant. They were all like, oh my goodness, it's those cups that great grandma used to have. It was really lovely. And then we started reminiscing about them, and it was really, really nice. So I have just a few more bits, but they are the best bits. So, except for the mug or cup, sorry. So I found this little swan cup. These are really, really common here in Finland. They were very popular at one point. In fact, In the same flea market where I got this, there were like 2 other tables that had these exact ones but bigger, but bigger ones. I decided to go with the little one though, because this one had a much nicer color than the others. So yeah, I got this little swan cup that I think I'm gonna fill with crystals or something here, or maybe a tea light. I don't know. Either way, it's a beautiful little swan that I really like. And then for the piece de la résistance, oh, I can't believe I found these. I found these 2 old cauldrons. So this is the big one. And this is the tiny diddy one. So happy. I'm so happy that I found these. They are so pretty. Old copper pots. Yeah, I was chuffed, and at first I was like, I'm just gonna get one of them. I thought at first I'll just get the tiny one because I've only got a tiny home with a tiny altar, and the big one's just gonna be too much. But then I thought, you know what? The big one's too good to pass up. I have to get it. And the best part was the price on this one said €3. The price on this one said €2. And the price of the swan, which I got at the same place, was $1.50. When I got to the till, fully expecting to pay $6.50, he tells me the total comes to €2.50. €2.50, and I was like, wait, hang on, have you counted all 3? And he was like, yeah, it's $2.50. And I was just like, what? So can you believe it? I got 2 cauldrons and a swan for €2.50. I cannot believe it. I'm so chuffed. I'm just going to have to find some polish, and I'm gonna try and polish this up a little bit. And yeah, I'm just thrilled. Super thrilled about this. So yeah, I have wanted a cast iron cauldron for quite a while, but they're very expensive. So I'm gonna see how these ones fare, and if they don't keep, if they don't hold what I want to use it for, then I have lost €2. Wow. So yeah, I'm just so chuffed about this whole thing. The trip was a success. I found all of these lovely things. I had a lovely time with my parents and my sibling, and I bought some new duvets. So we've got nice cozy duvets, fresh, and yeah, just I nearly forgot. I also got some random potpourri with a jasmine fragrance. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Maybe just put a few bits and bobs on my altar, perhaps. So yeah, now I'm done. Now I'm done. All right. So I don't think I have anything else to talk about now. I had some thoughts about some kinds of, like, what kind of videos I want to make soon, and I do have a VR in mind, which I'm not going to spoil now. You'll find out about that one later. So I think that's it, you guys. I've been babbling on for long enough, I think. Yes, over an hour now. So that was my January. And I am hoping that I will be able to film a lot more videos in February. I've been struggling to have any time on my own where I can actually film things. My fiance has been home a lot, And when he has been gone, I've been way too tired, or I've had other engagements to see to. So yeah, I've had a little bit of a difficult time finding some space in my days to do the videos that I'm itching to make. So I am really, really hoping that I will be able to get some more videos out to you in the coming weeks. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me and for listening to my reminiscing of my January. Please take care of yourselves and be well, my friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.